Coming up, Governor Beshear is re-elected. We'll have team election coverage. Good evening from election headquarters. I'm Steve Hensley. Governor Andy Beshear will serve another 4 years in Frankfort as Kentucky's governor. Beshear defeated Attorney General Daniel Cameron tonight by about 4 to 5 percentage points. Both of them addressed their supporters earlier this evening. We begin our election coverage with Kelsey Soto in Louisville at Governor Beshear's campaign headquarters.
Incumbent Andy Beshear will spend 4 more years inside the governor's mansion, a chance to continue serving Kentuckians and finish what he started. His message throughout this campaign has been very clear. It wasn't about red and blue. It was not about Republican or Democrat. Instead, it has always been about Team Kentucky. Some people in the crowd tonight telling me they were really surprised and impressed with just how well Beshear performed in Fayette and Jefferson County. And while they expected those two to go his way, they were extremely pleased with those margins. The Henry Clay High School graduate certainly making a push the last few weeks through the Lexington and Louisville area, making several stops. Beshear said being up against 5 super PACs was no match for a unified Commonwealth.
The people of Kentucky elected me as just the third 2 consecutive term governor in our history. But folks, this wasn't my win. This was our victory.
Of course, Beshear had to get that dig in there tonight, saying Louisville native Jack Harlow clearly was the winner over Sarah Huckabee Sanders. Several agencies tonight have already come out with their congratulations, including Planned Parenthood and the Kentucky Education Association. Both have been big supporters of Beshear. As soon as that race was called tonight, deafening cheers here. A lot of people chanting, Andy, in 4 more years. This was something they were all looking forward to. The second floor balcony of Old Forester Parish Town Hall was a rockin' tonight. For now, in Louisville, Kelsey Soto, WKYT.
Kelsey, thank you. Attorney General Daniel Cameron conceded to Governor Beshear a couple of hours ago. WYMT's Chandler Wilcox is at his campaign headquarters, also in Louisville. Chandler?
3 Republicans had victory speeches on the stage behind me, but Daniel Cameron had a concession speech as current Governor Andy Beshear won re-election. Cameron says he congratulated Beshear and wants the best for the state of Kentucky.
And so as I did with Governor Beshear, I want all of us to think about what these next few decades will look like. And I ask that you pray for Governor Beshear and his team.
As for what is next for Cameron, he talked about his faith and following God's plan. But for now, we'll go back to you.
All right, Chandler, thank you very much. Cameron will serve a little while longer, of course, as Attorney General before Russell Coleman, who won tonight, takes his place. Coleman says it's an honor to follow in his footsteps. Here's a closer look at the numbers in the governor's race now. About 99% of the vote in. Governor Beshear won about 53% of the vote to Cameron's 47%. Some thought it would be a lot closer than that. The governor won counties that were hit hardest by last year's flood: Breathitt, Perry, Letcher, and Knott. Several state races were also on the ballot. Republicans swept all of those, including Michael Adams being re-elected as Secretary of State, and as we just mentioned, Russell Coleman will replace Daniel Cameron as Attorney General. Kentucky will also have a new Agriculture Commissioner and State Treasurer. Both Jonathan Schell and Mark Metcalf easily won their respective races tonight. Those 2 Republican candidates had a victory celebration tonight in their hometown of Lancaster. Schell defeated Democrat Sierra Enlow. Both were young candidates, 35 years old. Schell is a farmer and former state representative. Republican Mark Metcalf defeated Michael Bowman. This was Bowman's second loss for treasurer. Allison Ball beat him back in 2019. Metcalf is 65 years old and the Garrett County attorney. It was a big night for one Eastern Kentucky native in the state auditor's race. Floyd County native and current state treasurer Allison Ball won that race against Democrat Kim Reeder, a Rowan County native. Ball says she's happy to continue to be what she says is a watchdog.
This is great. I am so proud to be the next auditor of Kentucky. I am proud to represent you and be a watchdog of taxpayer dollars. It has been a tremendous honor to serve you as treasurer. I've gotten to learn a few things in that role, and I am ready to go to do the job as auditor, protect against waste, fraud, and abuse, be there for you, do the job the way it's supposed to be done.
Ball says she's thankful for those that voted for her as well as her campaign team. She says she's looking forward to working with her Republican counterparts. Now for a recap of all our election coverage, including all the statewide and local races tonight, and a county-by-county breakdown in the governor's race. Just go to WYMT.com or download the WYMT News app. Just scan the QR code there. It will take you to where you need to go. You can also sign up for breaking news alerts there.
We are tracking dry weather to continue across the mountains into your Tuesday night, and more dry weather on the way on Wednesday as well. Here's a live look at the radar at this hour. You can see a clean sweep does continue, all thanks to high pressure. Those temperatures at this hour still mild in the middle to even upper 50s and lower 60s in some areas, up to 63 for Jackson, 61 for Pikeville, and 55 in Somerset, also Williamsburg at this hour. And those lows only falling into the upper 50s and lower 60s as you wake up on Wednesday, but a warm Wednesday is on the way. Temperatures topping out in the upper 70s and possibly some lower 80s on Wednesday. So that fire danger is going to continue on Wednesday. Watching out for some dry weather, but also some breezy winds, possibly up to 20 or 25 miles per hour at times. But some good news, Steve, some increased rain chances on the way by Thursday, also Friday. Those details coming up in just a few minutes.
Certainly need that rain, Cameron, because we're getting ready to talk about our other big story today. We'll get back to the election in a moment, but first we want to talk about the more than 100 forest fires that have been reported throughout the state today, mostly in eastern Kentucky. Those fires began really popping up on Friday and continued through the weekend. WYMT's Olivia Calfee has spent the day in Perry County, where those fires continue to burn tonight. She talked to officials about what you need to know to help protect your home and prevent these fires from spreading.
I'm here in the dwarf community of Bulin, and I have been monitoring this fire behind me since about 2 p.m. today. And since I've been here throughout the day, this fire has continued to spread and reignite. But just a little bit earlier this evening, I stopped by the Kentucky Division of Forestry office in Hazard and spoke with manager Jake Hall, and he did share some new information with me. Now, all of this is as of 8 p.m. this evening, but he shared that there has been a total of 101 fires reported statewide. Now, 59 fires are currently being monitored with 21 staffed. But with the wind continuing to intensify and that slim chance of rain, he says folks need to be careful and stay aware.
A lot of new starts, whether it be from open burning or arson starts, but they're spreading rapidly due to those conditions and causing a lot of control issues for our firefighters. We currently have more fires being called in than what we can currently staff. We've requested assistance from out-of-state crews to deal with those overwhelming numbers.
And once again, as he mentioned, they are expecting these fires to continue and possibly intensify. But he says they do expect to have those out-of-state crews with boots on the ground here tomorrow. So for now, just remember to be aware, do not burn, and even the smallest spark can start a fire. But for now, I am reporting in Bulin, Olivia Calfee. I'll send it back to you.
All right, Olivia, thanks for your hard work today. Those crews that are coming in from out of state are from Oregon and Idaho. They will be stationed at the Hazard and Pineville branches of the Kentucky Division of Forestry. Several counties now have total burn bans as conditions could get even worse tomorrow. You can find a list of those counties on our website. Meanwhile, the Kentucky Department of Forestry was dispatched at 2:30 this afternoon to Setzer Branch out in Martin County to battle this fire that grew to about 10 acres. While no property was damaged because of the fire, Forest Ranger Technician Chad Brothers says work had to be done to protect some homes.
No, it's just all woods that's burning right now. We protected a house behind you and a house behind me and a cemetery, and then there's another house beyond it that will be mildly impacted, but we should be able to protect them.
Brother says they do not know the cause of the fire, but he suspects it was set on purpose because that's typically what they deal with. Coming up on Mountain News at 11, our election coverage continues with a look at some local races, including wet-dry votes across the region.
Plus, fire danger will continue on Wednesday, but we are tracking some relief by the end of this week. Those details coming up.